Cedar Point, located in Sandusky, Ohio, along the shores of Lake Erie, has been called the roller coaster capital of the world. With such a lofty title, they better be able to back up that claim, right? Well, we're here to tell you Cedar Point goes above and beyond. Cedar Point is considered the second oldest amusement park in the U.S. It celebrated its 150th birthday in 2020, and while it's gone through many transformations, it's always been dedicated to showing its guests a thrilling and family-friendly time. From Millennium Force to top Thrill Dragster, join us as we take you on a tour of the best roller coasters at Cedar Point. Magnum XL-200. When this 205-foot-tall steel coaster opened in 1989, it was the fastest and steepest complete circuit coaster in the world. When it was first built, it was so extreme, a new term had to be coined to describe it. Hypercoasters are defined as coasters at least 200 feet tall. And as you'll soon see, this wouldn't be the first time Cedar Point's creations resulted in a new addition to the amusement park lexicon. While Magnum XL-200 is no longer the top dog it once was, and has admittedly gotten a bit rough and jostling in recent years, it still delivers a ton of thrills while providing breathtaking views of Lake Erie. Gatekeeper. With a top speed of 67 miles per hour and a height of 170 feet, Gatekeeper was Cedar Point's first wing coaster when it made its debut for the 2013 season. The coaster has a split structure that suspends its riders from either side of the track in a wing-like fashion. The ride is named for its position adjacent to the park's gate. When it opened in 2013, it set 7 world records. After diving down the first drop, where riders are subjected to 4 Gs, they get launched through 2 loops and another big hill. What makes Gatekeeper unique is the fact that the loops feel significantly longer than on other rides. This allows riders to really get the chance to fully anticipate and appreciate the inversions. Valravn. Valravn is a classic dive coaster with a unique feature. Its trains are floorless and consist of 3 long rows of 8 seats. After climbing to 223 feet, the train creeps to the edge of a 90-degree vertical drop, where it sits there for a couple of nerve-wracking seconds to build anticipation before diving straight down. Several inversions and a second smaller dive then ensue. For the best viewing experience, we recommend trying to get a front row seat on the outermost ends of the train. Steel Vengence. Formerly known as the Mean Streak, some coaster enthusiasts insist that this steel-wood hybrid is in fact the best roller coaster in the world. While we don't fully agree with that, we still think Steel Vengence is among the finest we've ever ridden. When it first opened in 1991, it was the tallest wooden coaster in the world, featuring the longest drop height. After more than 2 decades of operation, Cedar Point closed Mean Streak, leading many to wonder what the future of the ride was. Instead of being scrapped for parts, it was given a total overhaul by Rocky Mountain Construction and opened to the public under its new name in 2018. Steel Vengence set 10 world records. Even several years later, the ride is still the tallest, fastest, and steepest steel-wood hybrid hypercoaster on the planet. From its initial 200-plus foot 90-degree drop to its myriad unpredictable twists and turns, spins, dips, flips, and airtime hills, there's never a dull moment as you careen around the coaster's monstrous wooden frame. Before we tell you more, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to Viewcation if you haven't already. Top Thrill Dragster. Ever wonder what it would be like to be in the passenger seat of a high-octane drag racing supercar? Well, this 400-foot-tall, 120-mile-an-hour launch coaster will give you a little taste of what that might feel like. While the ride only lasts about 17 seconds, they might just be the most intense of your life. Once you're strapped in, you're carted to the starting line, where you'll watch as a set of lights turn from yellow to green before launching you at breakneck speeds, going from 0 to 120 miles an hour in 3.8 seconds, straight up a 420-foot loop where you're flung around and hurtled straight back down to the ground at the same blistering speed before ending back in the loading area. We definitely recommend putting your personal items and phones in a locker before hopping aboard this adrenaline-inducing behemoth of a coaster. Millennium Force. Millennium Force is our favorite coaster at Cedar Point. What makes this one so special in our eyes is the incredible views you get from atop its hill. After being lifted to the top and enjoying the gentle breeze coming off the lake, you're guided to your first 310-foot drop, where you'll reach a top speed of 93 miles an hour. You're then catapulted up to the top of your next big hill. The combination of that initial drop and the immediate climb afterwards is enough to make novice coaster riders black out. After that, you'll be treated to buttery smooth banking turns and numerous airtime hills. In fact, most of the ride you'll spend your time out of your seat pinned against your lap bar. While Millennium Force certainly looks intimidating, it's one of the smoothest coasters we've ever been on. That being said, the ride is now almost 20 years old and has shown some signs of wear and tear. But one thing that Cedar Point excels at is maintaining their rides and regularly giving them overhauls when needed. Rougarou. While this coaster isn't nearly as tall or visually impressive as some of its high-profile park mates, it's still worth a ride. It originally opened in 1996 as Mantis. Back then, it was one of the first floorless roller coasters in the world and drew in large crowds willing to wait hours in line to experience its 137-foot drop, 60-mile-an-hour top speed, and 119-foot inversion loop. Rougarou also features a vertical loop and a 103-foot dive loop, making it a no-brainer for coaster lovers who love to be whipped upside down. And the line is typically pretty short. Raptor. Being an inverted coaster, Raptor's trains are suspended right below the tracks, and its cars are exposed. It's pretty amazing to see 32 passengers dangling their legs freely while getting tossed around like ragdolls. Raptor's claim to fame is its 100-foot teardrop loop, but that's just one of its 6 inversions. Raptor is no longer the new kid in town, so you shouldn't have to wait too long to ride it. But if you enjoy coasters that take you upside down, you'll have a great time. Now it's time to hear from you. Have you been on any of these rides? What's your favorite? Let us know in the comment section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Viewcation if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.